Hey everybody, welcome back to Bacon's Bass Place. I'm Aaron Bacon, and today we're going to be talking about how to avoid the double popping issue in your slap bass playing, more particularly when you're playing double thump. So we're going to talk about what is double popping, we're going to talk about what's the issue of double popping, and we're going to talk about how to solve that issue, move through it, get past it by separating your fingers. That's the key, separation of your fingers when you're playing, guys. Again, guys, before we get started, I'm going to ask you to hit that subscribe button whether you're new or not to my channel, because here at Bacon's Bass Place we're doing awesome bass-related videos. We're doing bass lessons, gig vlogs, cover videos, all kinds of awesome things, gear modification videos. So make sure you hit the subscribe button and come back on every Friday when we're putting out new videos. Alright, now let's get started with the lesson here. So what is a double pop? After you do a pop with your index finger, you're going to immediately follow it up by a second pop with your middle finger. So when you're doing normal slap bass using your index finger to pop, you can pop with either finger. When you're just doing one pop, you can pop with either finger, your index finger or your middle finger. I actually encourage you to be pretty good at interchanging them freely. So, what's a double pop? A double pop is after you do a pop with your index finger, you follow it up by an immediate another pop. So, what is a double pop? A double pop is when you follow up your first pop with a second pop. It's not a single pop, it's a double pop. That's why they call it a double pop, because there's two of them. So, let's see what that looks like. So you can do some pretty cool stuff with double popping. You can get into some neat tremolo picking, especially when you get it on one string. That's my favorite thing to do with it, is put all those notes on one string, and then you really get into all this really neat kind of economy picking. You really got to get into it, guys, I'm telling you. Let's get into a bit of details about the double pop now. The double pop is one of the strokes that must be set up, okay? So when you do your initial slap, even when it's your up, when you do your first down slap, your other fingers should be in position, ready to pop, landed like that, in position when you do your slap, right? See how I'm landed with those already here? You don't want to do that and then have these other fingers like floating around over here, because then you have to bring them all the way there and set them up as a whole separate movement. If you combine your setup with your actual slap, then you get to reduce that whole movement of setting up your pop stroke. You just 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It's a stroke that happens on the up phase of the slap bass phases. We'll get into those phases of slap bass in another video. You'll hear me talking about them every now and then, these different phases. There's a down phase and an up phase. Is the only ones you really got to worry about for now. And these double pops, they all happen on the up phase. Your double pops can be used to make groupings of 3s and 4s quite easily. If you want to make 3s, you go down with your thumb, and then you do 2 pops without using an up thumb stroke, as I like to call it. That's not a pattern that I actually use so much. When I'm doing 3s, I prefer to do 2 thumbs and 1 finger. So I don't actually end up doing down with the thumb and 2 pops often, but I do up, down with the thumb, up with the thumb, and then 2 pops to make groupings of 4. I do that quite often, as you just saw a second ago. Now, this part is going to segue me into the actual issue. What is the problem with the double pops is that the second pop tends to mute the first pop. So, let's talk about that. That's the issue with the double popping, is that it tends to mute the first pop. You get this like, this really short cut off first pop. Also, you don't really do them like that very often, usually, because that's doing them without a setup, which I find totally awkward. And this is the whole point of today's video. The way that you solve this issue is by separating these 2 fingers. So, I'm going to show you how to do that. If you guys can see real closely, I'll get in a zoomed up video for you. When you're doing this, first of all, they have to be set up properly. Again, I'm gonna keep saying this, is by pushing these fingers away. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, when you actually go to do a pop stroke, like to pull the trigger and actually do that, you know, it's not just this finger that's doing the motion. Because if it's just this finger pulling forward, my index finger, then this middle finger here is going to want to naturally follow along, and that's what makes it hit the string and mute it before it has a chance to actually ring out, okay? So what you want to make sure that you try and do and work in this really, really slowly. This is something that like feels totally unnatural at first to try and practice it, but after you do it so slow and so slow and so slow, eventually you get to the point where it becomes a little bit more natural, and then you won't have to think about it so much, and it'll start happening on its own. And you'll start noticing that you're going to get those groups of 3s and 4s using your double pop to sound a lot more clear. And it's all because of your separating these 2 fingers. So what you want to do, when you go to do your pop, when this finger is pulling, you want to actually push away from it with this finger, okay? Your middle finger almost wants to push against the string above it. See? If I'm going to try and pop the D, the 5th fret of the A string here, when I go to put my finger and start getting ready to pull it, I'm also going to take my middle finger here and push it away from that finger. I'm going to push it against the D string above it so that when I pop, it has room to ring. And I can do another one after when I'm ready. See that? I'm not on the string that's ringing right now. Even though I'm ready to do another pop, I've taken this finger and pushed it down against that other string to get it away from that string that's ringing like that. The absolute key, as with everything in music, guys, you want to have your ears open. Make sure you're listening, okay? The whole point of this is to make music. We're not trying to play guitar here. We're not trying to play bass. I mean, we are playing bass, but we're trying to make music, right? So everything you do, use your ears. Make sure you can hear that 3rd one. If you're going down, up, 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 like I am, thumb, thumb, pop, pop, make sure that 3rd note is really, really clear. Alright guys, so what did we cover in this video? We covered double pops. We covered what are double pops. You know, it's when you do the second pop after your first pop, and you get 2 pops there. We went over all the details of the double pop. You know, you have to set up. It can be used easily for groups of 3 and 4. It occurs on the last note of your up phase, and it tends to mute the first pop. That is the problem. The third thing we went over. The problem with it is that it mutes this pop. This pop mutes this pop, okay? Then we went over the solution to that, and that is to push your middle finger away from your index finger when you're popping it, okay? Don't let it follow it through. Push it away. Make sure that they're separating. Alright guys, and if you get this going, I want you to let me know in the comments down below. If you're having any difficulties with this in the comments down below, let me know and I'll be in there to help you out, okay? Well, if enough people are concerned about something, we can make a whole video for that. If somebody just has an issue, let me know in the comments section and I'll do my best to help you guys out, okay? Alright everybody, I want to thank you all so much for watching again. My name's Aaron Bacon. This has been Bacon's Bass Place. Whether it's your first time here or not, again, I want you guys to hit that subscribe button because we're getting out new bass related videos for you every Friday and you guys are going to love it. We got bass lessons, we got gear modification videos, we got gig vlogs, we got cover videos, we got all kinds of stuff and they're coming out on Fridays at the very minimum, guys. So come back and check it out every Friday. Another thing, if you haven't checked out my band, Dizzy Mystics, we're a psychedelic, progressive, hard rock band. We're based out of Winnipeg, Canada. We just released our first debut album, Wanderlost. You can get that now on Bandcamp. Make sure you stream us on Spotify and Google Play Music and Deezer and iTunes and all those things. Is iTunes still a thing? I heard something about that. I don't know. I'm an Android man myself. And I am now doing private online one-on-one bass lessons. So if you're interested in getting bass lessons one-on-one from me online, hit me up on the back end of my channel. Go to the About section and you'll find my email address. You can send me an email address inquiring about bass lessons and we will hook that up for you. If you're here in Winnipeg, just get at me and we can do it in person. If you're anywhere else in the world, get at me still and we can do it online through Skype, through Facebook, through WhatsApp. We can do whatever you guys fancy, right? Let me know in the comments section how you guys feel would be the best method for you guys to get bass lessons from me online if you're not here in Winnipeg. Let me know. I want to hear what works best for you guys. Alright. Thanks for watching again. Stick around. We'll see you next time. See you later.